Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza. Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Captain Spock, rock out.
Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. OU Kurt, Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unberger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza. Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button. Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are.
Yes, I'd like to order a small pepperoni deep dish pizza.
Is this for pickup or delivery?
This would be for pickup.
For pickup, let's start off with your phone number.
Sure.
Right. And you wanted a small deep dish. What was the toppings on that again?
Pepperoni would be good.
Just pepperoni on that?
Just pepperoni.
Anything else I can get for you? Any salads or appetizers?
No, that'll do it.
Alright, so I have that small deep with the pepperoni added to it. Your total comes out to $19.55 after tax. Did you want to do the payment upon arrival or over the phone with me?
I'll get it when I get there. That's fine. And about how long?
Your order should be ready in about 30 to 35 minutes. Your order number is 28, okay?
35 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, on it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye. That's how we do it. We have 35 minutes to go pick up a pizza pie. Don't worry. I'm staying live. I'm not going anywhere.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show, and you are live with me today from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every single Tuesday and Thursday. We have a pizza pie we got to go pick up. Little road trip. I decided, you know what? I'm tired of being overworked. I'm tired of not having a lunch break. I'm going to take a lunch break, Bob, from accounting. You don't own me, Bob. I'm going to go pick up my pizza pie while I'm on the live stream, Bob. So we'll take a little road trip. I'll connect with my cell. We'll have the studio up, the empty chair, and Smitty out and about doing a pizza pickup delivery at my place, Lou Molinati's, baby. So we're going to get a hot pizza pie in this mug and bring it in live. I've got the matchups for week 1 above my head and at the top of your screen. We can go over start bench advice, who we like, who we don't like heading into week 1. You guys can ask me some start bench advice. We're going to go over the news first and foremost. If we have time, we'll jump down into the start bench advice right here. But we might have to make a pit stop for the good old pizza pie. So let's get to the news and break it down as fast as we can. Mark Andrews inking a 4-year, $56 million deal. Now, why are you bringing this up, Smitty? What's this have to do with anything? Well, it's a good reminder. When big contracts happen, it gets people thinking about the player. Oh, the team believes in him. The team's giving him 4 years, $56 million. Therefore, I have to draft him early. It did it with Josh Allen. Josh Allen was a 4th rounder. Like clockwork, we were stealing him away, doing good work, doing our thing in the 4th round. And what happened? Josh Allen signed a big contract, and now everyone and their mother thinks he's worth a top of the 3rd. It's what happens. My point here is going to be this. I like other tight end options in the later rounds than going early Mark Andrews. Your man Smitty, would rather have Logan Thomas straight up than Mark Andrews. Don't tell anybody I said that. I would rather draft later, not have him over Mark Andrews in this case, but draft later Higbee in round 11 or 12 and spend my 5th rounder or wherever Andrews is going to go on a different player. Give me Herbert in round 5 or top of 6 preferably instead of Marky Boy Andrews. Marky Mark is not worth the ADP. And my whole point here is that this news right here, can I move it with it? No. It's like moving a truck. Let's see. Reverse. No. I need this to look real. Mark Andrews is going to cost you way more than you should be paying. Way more. Way more. Give me Higbee in round 10, 11, 12. Give me Logan Thomas in 9, 10, 11. Give me Robert Bobby Boy Tunyon in round 9, 10, 11, 12. If a tree falls, Webb or Terry or Nev or Antong or Double X or Kyle or Matt or who your daddy, all of you fine folks in here, ZL, Todd, iSong, all of you. If a tree falls, I'm asking you this question. If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, does it fall? The answer is no, right? Or yes, no, whatever. It doesn't, it doesn't. But if Logan Thomas and Tunyon drop breakout seasons and no one's there to notice, did they really break out yet? No. Logan Thomas was number 3 last year. Robert Bobby Boy Tunyon scored 11 TDs and was number 4 last year for all tight ends. Nobody knows. No one knows this. Nobody looks at it. And if that's not true, why are they going in 9, 10, 11 round ranges? So therefore, Bobby Boy Tunyon and Logan Thomas didn't break out last year. They're breaking out this year because no one noticed it didn't happen. Move on. Next. These two guys are better options. Goddard. Goddard's a better option than going early Mark Andrews. I don't trust Lamar Jackson. I don't trust Lamar Jackson to be consistent with any of his pass catchers. I'm letting this news drive the value up in the 11th hour for Mark Andrews. I'm letting Mark Andrews, I'm trading him away high if for any reason I own him. I don't mind him. I'm just going to take advantage of the situation. Clyde boy Edwards-Helaire is expected to play week 1. We got some super chats. Let me drop these on the screen here. I think I might have missed one already up above. I apologize. Mark Cleveland dropped one. Thank you, Mark Cleveland. I will get to these super chats in 1 second. Let me finish the Clyde Edwards-Helaire news, and then I'll jump to these and get back to the news because you guys need attention for your super chats. So I appreciate them. Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the field for week 1. It's expected. And I think he's going to look fantastic. He should be glorious in week 1. The man has been protected into the passing game work in 2021. He's learning the PPR game. He's absorbing that playbook. That's a very complicated Kansas City Chief playbook. We had high expectations for Clyde. We all did. Take a lap for all of us who expected in a pandemic offseason, no preseason, for a guy to pick up pass protection, learning a very extensive playbook. Bad on us, okay? But don't let that affect your Najee Harris or Javonte Williams expectations. Last year has nothing to do with this year. What happened to Clyde has nothing to do with Najee Harris or Javonte Williams. Clyde, though, is going to be a value from here until kickoff. From here until he has his first big game. Maybe he doesn't blow up in week 1. We know that players are going to slump. Players I like, players you like. That is probably the most fun part about week 1. Once week 1 is done and concluded, my favorite time of the year is when a few players I love didn't do well. Everybody else is freaking out, going, oh, Schmidt, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had 65 yards, 2 receptions, and 12 yards receiving. Are we worried? Are we cutting him? Do we sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a pizza pie that needs to be picked up in 27 minutes and 31 seconds? Do we just get rid of him? I mean, he only had 65 yards and 12 receiving yards, Smitty. This is going to happen. It could be Clyde. It could be Clyde. It could be Justin Jefferson. JJ could have 44 yards. Josh Allen could have 220 and 1 tutty. Kyler Murray could have no touchdowns, 1 interception, 45 yards rushing, and nothing. Javonte Williams could play 3 snaps. We will see. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. A plethora, a handful of players that don't perform to our expectations coming out of week 1. And it's, what are you going to do about it? That's my question. Are you going to freak out? Are you going to freak out for good reason? There will be times where I'm like, hey, this guy didn't do it. I don't think he's going to trade him on the high. That will happen. But more often than not, we'll be attacking after week 1, especially on my Zoom calls. If you guys aren't on they're Discord calls now. I keep calling it Zoom calls. We used to do 2 Zoom calls every Sunday, and it's a part of the exclusive membership. Go to my main YouTube page, the main page for the Fantasy Football Show. Click the blue join button and join any one of those 2 memberships. They're YouTube exclusive memberships. You can cancel them anytime. They're done through YouTube, safe and secure. Join any one of my 2 memberships on my YouTube exclusive. You get in 2 video calls. You don't have to enable your camera. You don't even have to talk. You can just listen. 2 video calls with your man Smitty and everybody that's included in that exclusive group. Every single Sunday we go live for 2 exclusive video calls, and you got to be a member to do it. During that call, we go live at halftime of the Sunday morning games and halftime of the Thursday night game. Every single Sunday. Video call. It's like a big Zoom call. We're doing it on Discord, and we just talk. You guys ask questions. What are we going to talk about on Sunday? Probably who's been slumping, buddy. Who you should trade for while people are like freaking out. Knee-jerk reactions. Oh my God, I can't believe Justin Jefferson had 44 yards. or A.J. Brown had just one target. It could happen. There have been times where people have slumped all the way into week 6, 7, and it's still buy. And then by week 7, we're like, buy? And then they blow up, and you're like, yeah, I told you, buy low. That's what's going to happen in week 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably my favorite time of the year. What's up, Lincoln? All right, let's get to these super chats and back to the news. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be on the field. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is protected in the PPR passing game script. He won't be game scripted out like before. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was game scripted out of games last year. Number one, the Chiefs' offensive line was broken. It was broken, and therefore they couldn't run the ball, and they couldn't run the ball effectively. Proof during all of Clyde's goal line work, which people seem to draw conclusions on, I'm going to overrule Andy Reid and say that Clyde's not going to be the goal line back. I've decided this. You don't know what Clyde's going to be. Clyde can do draw plays, catch passes at the goal line. Clyde's going to be utilized at the goal line. I don't care what anybody says. He's not too small, Schmitty. He's too small. He had a broken offensive line. He had no pass protection skills at all, especially in this offense to protect the best quarterback, or second best now. Josh Allen's the number one. Josh Allen is the number one. Patty Mahomes needs protecting. Reid wasn't going to put him at risk last year with a rookie that didn't get time to learn pass protection in that specific offense. Clyde knows what he's doing. Clyde ran circles around the best defensive players in college football, the same defensive players that were drafted in round 1, round 2 of the same draft class. This man ran circles around all those guys that got drafted in that round 1. All of them. Clyde ran circles around all of them. Clyde will be fine, and Clyde will not be game scripted out. No. Not in 2021. Invest. Mark Cleveland. Smitty, send me a trade. I did a draft with Mark Cleveland last night. Let me send my trade. What's hilarious is, look at this. Look at this. I did a draft. Mark Cleveland invited me into his league last night, and I was itching for a league. So I'm like, let's do it. So I drafted in Mark Cleveland's family league, which is awesome. And this is my team, which is fantastic. It's a glorious team. I even took Miles Sanders, who I never take, but he fell to my flex value. So I've got Josh Allen, Ezekiel Elliott, Javonte Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy, Marquez Callaway, Noah Fant, Miles Sanders. Okay, so I want you guys to drop in the chat. Is that a thumb up? A thumb down? Do you like that team? Because look what NFL Fantasy, NFL Fantasy emails me this right after the draft. After some dicey selection, Smitty aims to break out. Projected record 0-14. I'm not gonna get one win according to NFL Fantasy. I'm not gonna get one win with this team. Josh Allen, Zeke Elliott, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not going to get one win. 0-14. Like, I'm sorry, but NFL Fantasy, you should not be using this algorithm because it makes it a joke. It makes the process a joke. Why offer a tool at all that is going to spit out BS that doesn't account for the current value of Javonte Williams, the current value of Jerry Jeudy? It probably doesn't even think that Callaway's a starter, and who the hell knows what's going on. But Mark, this is my team. Mark Cleveland's team is solid as well. Mark just pulled off a trade. He got what did you get? You got Henderson for Chase. You needed a running back. Great job, Mark. But 0-14 NFL Fantasy. 0-14. Are you kidding me? 0-14. Yeah, Smitty, they got you. They got me looking like the Lions, says Master Yoda. They got me 0-14 like the Lions, bro. What is going on here? What is going on here? My bench is pretty good. I have like I have Gainwell to back up Sanders. I've got Pollard to back up Zeke. I've got some solid bench guys. AJ Dillon. I got Madison. You know the drill. But holy crap, man! I was laughing. 0-14. I've never been ranked 0-14 before, but I've never done NFL fantasy. I don't think so. That was crazy. But Mark, I appreciate you inviting me into your family league. And shout out to Hayes. Shout out to Mark Cleveland. Shout out to your amazing group. It was fun. I forget all their names already, but I'll learn them. I think it was Jordan. Somebody, I don't know, Jordan somebody. Bill Belichick. It was a team name. Okay. Jordan. Jordan. Totally coincidental. Jordan. Rate my team. 10-team PPR. Lamar Jackson, Kamara, Harris. Pizza pie. 19 minutes. Lamar Jackson, Kamara, Harris. Oh, God. Is that... See, you do this to me every time, guys. I don't know if that's Najee Harris or if that's Damian Harris. If it's Najee Harris, like, bro. If it's Damian Harris, I'm a little let down now because I'm picturing Najee Harris in that. Najee Harris, A.J. Brown, A-Rob, Higbee, Deontay, Gaskin, Mike Davis, and Judy. Damian Harris. It is Najee Harris because you got Damian Harris. Chase, Carter, Callaway, Callaway, MT on IR. Roberts put the Smitty playbook into full effect. He took my blueprint, rolled it all out, set it on the table like a big set of brass, you know what, and said, here's my blueprint. Give me the championship. Holy crap. Lamar, Kamara, Najee, Higbee, Deontay, A.J. Brown, A-Rob. The only thing I would look to do, which is going to put a nail in the coffin for these poor people, these poor saps you're drafting against, Grandma, Uncle Bud, Bill from accounting. Like, this is a traditional, hi, I'm playing in a league where no one knows what they're doing, Jordan. You should be ashamed of yourself drafting a team like this. But what I would do to take it a step further and be even more shameful is trade A-Rob, and, God, I want to get Gaskin into your lineup if he's already in your lineup. Sweet. Damian and A-Rob, or Mike Davis and A-Rob for one beast, bro. Get a Clyde boy into that lineup. Get a Justin Jefferson into that lineup. Do some damage, bro. I love the team. Fantastic job. Way to put it on Grams and all your family, bro. That was not nice. Lifting some weights, saying keep it up. Pair character lifting weights. I don't know if that was, if you actually put a GIF in there and it's reading off the alt text of it, or if you just type that. That's funny. Jacob, I appreciate the super chat, my man. You are the man. Doc in the house. Thank you for the message, Doc. Terry loves my team. And I think we're good on the super chats. I don't mean to ignore the chat. I'm doing the news segment, then we got to go get the pizza pie, and I got to figure out how I can get on my phone and do all that, so we'll do that in a second. Myles Gaskin. Mr. Myles Gaskin. I love Myles Gaskin right now. I admit I wasn't super high on him, and in fact, you could probably find footage of me going, let's rewind. Ready? You're going to draft Myles Gaskin over Josh Allen? I think I've said that about 100 times on the show. And granted, in all fairness, I still feel that way. You're not drafting Gaskin. You're not drafting Mike Davis. You're not drafting Woods or Kupp or anybody over Josh Allen, who could be the number one quarterback in fantasy football. Josh Allen is a lock in round 3 in my mind, unless you're giving me CeeDee Lamb or Clyde Edwards-Helaire or some other player that we're not thinking of that could fall. It's Josh Allen range for me. This is a 45-plus TD, total TD scorer in 2021 with the extra game. He might throw for 43, 44, 45 and punch in another 4, 5, or 6 on the ground. This could be a total 50 TD quarterback, 5,000 yards. This guy could win league single-handedly. So I stand by my statements, but I don't like the disrespect that I casted on Myles Gaskin the way I said it over and over. I'm starting to really like Myles Gaskin. I love him as a sneaky running back 2 in a build where you're waiting on building your running back 2. I love him as a home run flex play. Holy smokes, can you imagine? I think that this guy is going to be undervalued all the way into week 1. and everyone's worried about a committee, but this guy is efficient, and you don't want him getting all the work up the gut. You want him living inside a committee because that's where he's going to get on the field more in the PPR aspect of things. You don't want him rushing for 1,100 yards. He'll break. He's like Kamara in a sense that you could push 1,000 yards running, especially with the extra game. That's like 60, what is that, 58 yards, whatever the hell that number is. 50-something yards a game, not a big deal. He can do that. That won't overwork him. So in an extra game setting, extra game for 2021, 1,000 yards wouldn't be out of the question. But you want him getting like a 900 and 900 type of thing, or a 700 and 800 or whatever, with 10 total touchdowns, 60, 70 receptions. It's possible for this kid. He's very, very electric, and I don't care that he's in a situation where they call it a sharing environment. I don't care. He is going to be good. He was utilized in the preseason enough for me to know that they're going to feed him. And I know the preseason you can't always translate into the true aspects of expectations for week one and how it translates, and people get excited and put all their eggs in one basket due to a preseason effort. And I get that. And I feel like over the years, my 19 years doing this professionally, I feel like I've got a good grasp of what to take from preseason and what to ignore, good and bad. And I ignore some good and I ignore some bad. It's not just me ignoring and trying to accept what validates my opinions and perspectives and projections. But I will say Gaskin scoring 2 touchdowns in that preseason game, looking ultra shifty, looking super good in the PPR game. I'm excited about Gaskin, and I'm all in on Gaskin at the right price. Antonio Brown, actually, let's pull up the Godwin news first, because that is what kind of triggered the Antonio Brown clip that I grabbed there. Quad limited in Tuesday's practice. This guy can't stay healthy, and I like Godwin a lot, but I think if you cuff Antonio Brown to Godwin, you've got yourself a locked and loaded wide receiver 1 all year. That Godwin, when he's on the field, especially building rapport with Brady, Godwin could drop fire every single game he plays, but cuffing the two together guarantees you a type of production that no other wide receiver cuff can guarantee you. Same thing goes for Antonio Brown with Mike Evans. If you cuff the two together, you're guaranteed a wide receiver 1 all year long. There's no safer player in fantasy football from that 5th roundish area than Godwin with AB, at least wide receiver, or Evans with AB. That duo is one of the safest 5th round wide receivers you can come across, and if you've got to pay bottom of the 4th, it still makes a whole lot of sense. You come out of your draft with Kamara, Ridley, Josh Allen, and then bottom of round 4, let's say you have that pick, Evans and AB later would be fine. I would like that team. I wouldn't feel it walked out weak. Evans and Godwin don't feel like the best, like 4 to 5 turn pick player, but they're really safe. You just got to cuff AB if you can. It gives you a lot of security. So I just wanted to cover that topic. Swift is another guy that I want to go over. I give Swift a lot of crap. I stay away from Swift at his ADP. I don't go near him at his ADP. I don't like Swift. I don't like his situation. I like Swift. I don't like his situation. You can't separate situation from player. This guy's going to be in an offense that can't move the football down the field. Will they even score touchdowns in 2021 at all? Like, how is he going to get in the end zone? Tell me that. How is Swift going to get in the end zone when they can't move the football down the field? Oh, Jared Goofy Goff is really going to pick up where Stafford left off, losing Golladay. This offense has been dismantled, and I don't think the Lions win even 3 games in 2021. Maybe 2 or 3 games. They win more games than apparently I will in my league, according to NFL Fantasy, who says that this team right here is going to win only 0 games. This is the score I got from NFL Fantasy. NFL Fantasy says Smitty's going to score a 12th finish, 0 wins and 14 losses based on this dicey selection of a team. Josh Allen, Zeke Elliott with Pollard, Javonte Williams, D. Hopkins, Judy, Callaway, one Callaway, Fant, Sanders, and then a plethora of good bench options that kind of back up what I've got here. I've got Gainwell to back up Sanders. I've got Pollard to back up Elliott. I got Madison. I've got Pollard, the usual suspects, A.J. Dillon. Anyway, it looks like I'm going to win less games than the Lions. Lions are going to lose bad in week 1. Swift won't do much in week 1. If anything, people are going to freak out about week 1. Let me say this, though. Swift's already banged up, obviously. I've said he's an injury-prone guy, and he's already banged up, and people keep arguing with me. How do you call on Swift injury-prone, Smitty? That's a dumb comment. What evidence do you have of that? He's already banged up. And he's going to be abused. 8-man fronts. But Swift, let me backtrack. Let me throw you for a loop. You're not going to see this one coming. There are times where people say, hey, Smitty, I can trade for Swift in this environment. Mike, I don't know if Mike, you're watching. Michael can acquire Swift at a very low cost. I like him at the right value. Everybody has a line in the sand where they go from bad value. Here's a draft board. Bad value. No go. Don't take Swift in round 3. You're crazy. He keeps falling. Round 4. It's not that he's crazy in round 4. They're just other options I end up taking. And then you get to like this, like near 5th, 4th round turn. Like right near the 4th and 5th round turn. And then all of a sudden he becomes a value grab. Everybody has a line in the sand where they flip from bad value to good value. Swift has that range. I believe Swift has good value at some point in your draft. I don't think Swift is always going to be a horrible pick. I don't hate Swift. He's very talented. I think Swift could be a very, very good player in a different situation. He's just in a horrible situation, and I don't believe he's going to get the support he needs, and I think he gets hurt. I think he gets overworked, isn't efficient, and gets hurt. But at the right price, I would roll with him as a running back too. No doubt about it. Like, people need to understand the difference between not liking a guy based on his ADP, and Swift's probably never going to fall far enough for me to grab him, but in a trade, I've seen him get traded for at low value, like in the case of my boy Mike. Montgomery. Now, this is a guy, Jeff Dickerson, just tossing out a prediction, so take this with a grain of salt. ESPN's Jeff Dickerson said David Montgomery will rush for 1,400 yards in 2021. Extra game, very possible. DeMont is supposed to be fed 20 carries a game, according to Nagy. Now, do you trust Nagy? I don't. But I almost don't trust it on either side of this. So if he said, yeah, we'll see, then I would say, well, maybe Monty now is going to run for 1,400 yards. Look, Monty's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's vocal. In his older age, his veteran years that he's walking into, and he was all mic'd up on that one ESPN clip or whatever. He was mic'd up. He had a chip on his shoulder. This guy isn't going to put up with not getting carries. And maybe he makes waves and then it ends up being a bad, locker room situation. I could go that way too because he's got a mouth on him. But the dude's got a chip on his shoulder and he wants the football and he feels disrespected by people that don't consider him one of the top 5 running backs in the league. He finished number 4 in 2020 out of all running backs in fantasy football scoring. Number 4. Does anybody even realize that? David Montgomery was number 4, and yet he's going at the end of round 3 into round 4. On the average, you're getting Monty at the top of round 4. That's baked in, boys, if I've ever heard it. Let's get the baked in, boys.
It didn't record.
Baked in, boys!
It certainly is baked in. It certainly is baked in, boys. The value and risk is phenomenal. We got 5 minutes and 58 seconds to get down to get the pizza pie. We got to walk out here in a second. So I love Monty in the 4th round. Complete steal. And I think people are sleeping on Monty big time in 2021. The volume should be there. Fields gets in there. Fields will fix a lot of the offensive line issues. Why? Because a mobile quarterback is going to stretch things out. A mobile quarterback's going to keep defenses honest. They got to spy Fields and know where Fields is at all times. That takes a defensive player away from the scheme to try and stop the offense and to try and stop Montgomery. That takes one player away and out of the whole situation to mirror and monitor and follow and spy on where Fields is. Fields is going to open things up and do really well for this offensive line. And the offensive line hasn't looked quite as bad as we thought, given they're running janitors out there right now because the whole offensive line's been banged up. I don't know. I think they could all get healthy, but it definitely is a worry. The offensive line's a worry, but Fields will fix that. I wish they put Fields in week 1. I don't know why they won't do that. I mean, why do they not see straight? Put Fields in. He's ready. He's more ready than Dalton is. Put him in. He's ready. He is completely ready, and he opens up this offense. If you're worried about Fields failing or getting hurt, you shouldn't have drafted him anyway. You have no business owning a quarterback that you're taking that high. If you're worried about when we're going to play him, let's save him. Let's save him. Let's just protect him and save him. Get the juice boxes. Let's protect Fields. We can't put him on the field. Same thing with Trey Lance. I know my Niner people are going to get mad at this, but what's Jimmy doing going out there? Put Trey Lance in, rip the Band-Aid off, get Trey Lance in there to learn on the fly while you win, especially the Lions. You're going to win week 1. Put them out there, start them, just move on, move forward with your future. I don't understand why in this day and age when quarterbacks are built differently, this isn't, oh, look at Mahomes. Mahomes on the bench did well. You don't know if Mahomes would have done fire in week 1 as a rookie. He could have. And the difference is, looking at a lot of these players, these quarterbacks are more ready than a lot of the players we've been talking about sitting out a year and getting ready. These quarterbacks are ready. It's different. It's different. They're not too raw. I totally disagree, but it's okay to disagree. It's fine. Mac Jones is ready. Look at that. Mac Jones is ready, and Mac's going to do pretty well. This offense, this New England offense, changes overnight for me. I'm actually a little bit excited about this New England team with Mac Jones under center, and I'm rooting for him. I had a lot of memes come out on him. I was ripping on him like everybody else, but I was rooting for him, and I'd say that. I'd rip on him in a meme and say, but I'm rooting for him, and I'm excited to watch Mackie boy get out there. Do you start Ayuk or Callaway? That's a tough call. Ayuk is banged up, but he did return to practice. He did some punt return stuff too, so that to me tells me that he's playing week 1. You don't do punt return activities when you're questionable to play. They hold you out of that crap if you're in a dangerous place for week 1. So Ayuk is probably safer, maybe, but I'm going to tell you, Dr. Dom, I can't put Marquez Callaway on the bench. That man does not belong on benches, and I think this guy, Marquez Callaway, has the potential to drop fire in week 1 and change everyone's opinion that's on the fence about him right now. I'm not sitting Marquez Callaway, not with Jameis Winston ready to force feed him the football like I'm about to force feed myself into some pizza pie, which I got to leave in a second for. Lev Bell, last piece of news. Lev Bell working out with the Ravens. I don't know, maybe he signed in between starting the show and not, but we'll see what happens with that. There's certainly a reason to get him off waivers in a deep league if you're expecting him to sign. He still could have a little bit of gas left in the tank. All right, so let's see here. Let me go ahead and try and get on my phone here. Gotta go get a pizza pie, people. We gotta go get a pizza pie. Microphone. I'm gonna use my pods. Front camera. Smitty1.com is my name. And we're gonna join. Try again. All right, we gotta go get that pizza pie. We got 40 seconds to get the pizza pie, people. Join. There we go. Yeah, buddies.
Yeah, buddies.
Okay,
let's rock.
Pizza
pie time.
Hey,
Hey,
Bender.
Bender.
Who's in here? I think I got some super chats too. Let me put these on screen. I have to get this when I get back, pal. Jacob, maybe I'll read these while I'm out. Okay. Pizza time. My music's a little loud. You guys are right. You tell me that. We'll go without music. Okay. Pizza pie. Now, I can't read the chat, just so you know. I can see we have 167 in here. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in or out of the door. And make sure if you're leaving, you take a lap, first of all. All right, hold on. I got to put on some socks. Oh, my God. Did we get a flood? Got a little discoloration on the roof there. Okay. Hopefully we don't get a leak. All right. Pizza pie time. But to answer everyone's question about Marquez Callaway, I'm definitely starting Marquez Callaway in pretty much every league I own him in. Now, there are some situations where I've drafted him and I've got a comparable guy that I'm a little bit worried about putting on the bench. I agree. In a lot of the situations where I own Callaway, I'd say in about, I don't know, probably 90% of the situations where I own Callaway, I actually designed my team to have Callaway as the wide receiver 3 lock, meaning I waited on my wide receiver 3. In some cases, I actually drafted Callaway as my wide receiver 2, and I grabbed Mike Thomas, and I own both of those guys together, and I put Mike Thomas on my bench, and I'm going to roll with Mike Thomas and Callaway as my wide receiver 3 lock all year long, and in some cases, wide receiver 2 lock. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We're going to get the pizza pie, leaving the studio in the hands of Bender and Terry. Terry's going to man the studio until I get back. I'm going to go on some rants about some players that I like in week 1. Gaskin, I talked about Gaskin, how much I love Myles Gaskin right now, how much I love trading for him, how much I love drafting him. I think Jamar Chase is a good wide receiver to go get. I think, let's see here. Javonte Smith I think both Javonte Smith and Jamar Chase are going to be better than people think. I think everyone's crapping on Jamar Chase right now, but he's got good value later on in the year. I think and rumbling whether come out of the firing on all cylinders. Still, am I frozen? I look like I'm frozen. How am I doing? Do I look okay, guys? Let me see. I wish I could see the chat. I don't even know if you can hear me. I look frozen. This is horrible. I don't know if this is working. When I get back, you'll have to tell me. Terry, I want a full report. The entire time where I was cutting out much. I need a full report card, Terry. And if I cut out of the live stream, I will be back. Oh no, I can't. Wait, no, yeah, I can't. Man, I won't be letting myself back. So I got 158 viewers from 170. I wonder if I look frozen. So what? You know what time it is. Oh, man. Why am I frozen? I hope you can hear me. I think you can hear me. Yeah, 139. The follower count is dipping. I think I might not be live anymore. Maybe I am. Hey, I saw myself scratch my face. I'm live again. Atta boys. I wish I could read the chat right now. We're picking up the pizza pie. Where was I at? I was ranting and raving about Myles Gaskin. I was ranting and raving about Marquez Callaway. I was ranting and raving about how in leagues where I own Marquez Callaway, I've actually designed my team so that I can survive, and I stacked at other positions so that I can survive with Marquez Callaway as my guaranteed wide receiver 3 with no other concerns or dilemmas because I've cuffed Mike Thomas to him. I love that approach. And in 3 or 4 leagues, I actually have Marquez Callaway as my wide receiver 2, and I'm not apologetic about it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I've built my team in a way that it makes a whole lot of sense. Great. We got a fire. Oh, no. I got to get out of the way here. There's a fire truck. Let's see. Okay. Maybe we'll do a little interview, too, if we end up running into anybody while we're getting the pizza pie. Ask them a couple fantasy questions. Other players I like heading into week 1 that I think are undervalued now, and they may not be after week 1, so you want to act on it quickly. I would say that now is the time to strike on Javonte Williams. I think once we get a dose of this guy, and I know I've been talking him up a lot. I know he's not super cheap, but once we get a dose of what Javonte Williams can offer, and once everyone realizes that he is the future and he's eventually going to be the guy, and it's not like a matter of if now, it's only a matter of when, and when might be in week 1. I have a feeling that everyone's going to wish that they had taken a stab at what appears to be, high value now that isn't high value. Like, this is not too costly to go get the man. Okay, let's go get this pizza pie. All right, 134 of you. We lost about 40 people when I think, choppy connection. So hopefully everybody finds their way back. Yes, I still got to put a mask on when I go in restaurants here in Arizona. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Hey, Schmitty, why are you wearing a mask? Schmitty, don't wear a mask. Schmitty, why are you wearing a mask? Whoa, that's wet. Hey, how's it going? Picking up an order for Smitty. Yep. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'm okay. Thank you. We got it. Yeah. Pizza pie. Pizza pie. Headed back to the studio.
other players to trade for now before week 1. Good Lord. I think Justin Jefferson and Clyde are now going around like 23, 22, 24. Sometimes Clyde goes higher. Sometimes Clyde goes lower. But I think Justin Jefferson and Clyde are going to have big weeks and look impressive. And JJ will not be able to be had at anything close to even low-end running or low-end round 2 value after week 1. Man, I wish I could see the chat. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get home. Let's get back to the studio and continue. Well, at Fantasy Football Court, we might do some start bench matchup stuff as soon as we get back to the studio. I should have brought my other phone, and I could have read the comments. That was a take a lap on me. That was a big miss, but we're almost home. This place is literally right down the street from me. So we'll be home in a second, and I think we're pretty clear now. We were choppy a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure you guys can all see me because the viewer count went back up. As video freezes when you're doing a live stream, you can tell if you're having problems when the viewer count drops like 20 or 30 viewers. Your loyal people hang in there. They stay there. Terry Roberts hasn't gone anywhere. Todd hasn't gone anywhere. Roberts hasn't gone anywhere. But, Noah probably checked out for a few minutes. He probably came back. He's not going to waste his time with some choppy audio. He's out. He's out of here. Wrong. Okay, we're almost home. Terry, I want a full report card. How long did I cut out? Could you not hear what I was saying for like a minute straight? Did I come back? Am I clear now? Did I finish off clear? Was I clear during my pizza pie purchase? I want a full again. Wow. I don't know if you can hear me and I'm just frozen, but there's a spot. It's the exact same spot where I got choppy before. It's like a tower situation because I was completely fine until I crossed over that place where I got choppy last time, and now I'm clear again. That sucks. Now we know when we drive to Lou Molinati's, we're going to be choppy halfway there. Let me see if I can read these super chats. Let's see. Jacob, thank you for the super chat. LaVisca Chenault straight up for Javonte. Bro, really? I can't believe I even left that on the screen and left without telling you to go do that. You can trade LaVisca Chenault for Javonte straight up. Give me a break. Take a lap for even asking, then take a victory lap for getting that trade done. That's crazy, bro. I can't read this other one. It's too small when I zoom in. Pixelated. I can read this other one by Rocket. No, I can't read Rocket here. Oh, my God. Javonte Williams for LaVisca Chenault. Take a lap for asking. Take a lap for not punching yes earlier. But that is a fantastic trade, bro. Phenomenal. Okay, we're almost home. I'm cutting in and out again. I can't believe that. LaVisca Chenault, bro, for Javonte. That's insane, bro. That is a crazy, crazy trade. Phenomenal. Looks like I am frozen again. I see the viewer count dipped pretty quickly. We're at 146. 146. Thumbs up. People are like, I'm not waiting. There goes Noah. There goes Noah. Noah's dropped. I'm going to rewatch this back and see how bad it was. Maybe I shouldn't go get pizza pie. Maybe I should order DoorDash. I don't think this place does DoorDash, though. So that's the problem. Okay. All right, I think we're back. We're backing in. Yeah, we're choppy because we got a drop in viewer count. Pretty big drop in viewer count. We went from 160 to 140. That's how I know if the show is being choppy. Okay, let me back up here. Backing in. Parked. We're home. 145. We only lost about 15 viewers the whole time, I think. We only lost about 15 people during that little adventure. Okay. Plate. Wash the virus off. Wash off the pandemic. Put a couple sodas in the freezer. Chill these bad boys. Pizza pie. That's what I'm talking about. Napkin. Paper towel. I can hear the YouTube stream. Okay. Got my food. I'm home, buddies.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddies.
Let's end this call.
Boom. All right, we're back. We're back and we're live. I want a full report, Terry. Could anybody... How bad did it cut out? We've got 138 in here. We had some people leave. Oh. Check the news. I can't post articles. We are still here. How bad was it? Did it cut in and out constantly, Terry? Tell me what happened. Mark Cleveland dropped a super chat while I was gone.
James dropped a super chat while I was gone. Appreciate you. And I think that's all the super chats. I think we're good. Oh no. Another one here. And I think that catches us up. And then of course Dr. Dom dropped that Callaway one. Yes, I start Callaway, but I'm crazy, Dr. Dom. I'm a little off my rocker. Was it choppy the whole time? Okay. Trade Dak for Hurts and Javonte Williams. Dak for Hurts and Javonte Williams. I probably do. I would take the gamble that Hurts is a top 6 to 10 quarterback and Dak's a top, 5 quarterback. So yeah, I would probably do that trade if it's me. I want Javonte in that deal. I like Dak a lot, but Hurts could be just as good. Roberto, what are your thoughts on Tony Jones now that Murray was released today? I think Tony Jones was already grabbing a hold of that. The audio worked. Okay, good. The audio was there the whole time. Really? Hey, Terry, did you hear the audio the whole time? How much did it cut out, though? Did you see me like half the time? Was half of it clear? I'm just curious. Like, I want to know if I need to never do that again. What are your thoughts on Tony Jones? So he needs to be owned. I own him in a couple leagues, and Kamara, he's a must cuff for Kamara owners because Kamara, he's pretty solid. If he gets in there, he's going to be a pretty good running back. He'll be like, I don't know if he'll be like as good as Pollard or Madison if their starters go down, but he'll be like a borderline, high-end running back too. Drop Carter or Lindsey for Tony Jones. Drop Lindsey, bro. I think getting Henderson for Chase was okay. I was screwed at running back. Bro, Henderson could be really good, Mark. I worry about McVay. I worry about that situation like being consistent. But Henderson, you draft probably in a redraft ahead of Jamar Chase. So you did really well in the trade. Just because I like Jamar Chase doesn't mean this wasn't a great trade for you. It was an absolute great trade for your situation. You needed a running back bad. So that was really good. You missed... Rockout says, you missed my super hit the like. Okay, Rock, let me go back up and look for your super chat, pal. Rhett, I'm coming to yours next, Rhett. Jacob, I got yours. Rockout says I missed his super chat. Did I get to that one? Brandon? And rock out. Okay. Brandon, you still here? I had my draft last night and my team QB Allen, Gibson, Gaskin. Love Gaskin and Gibson. Sermon, love that. Fournette. Pollard, Lindsey. Wide receivers are Diggs, Lamb, Godwin, Judy, Callaway, Myers. Holy crap. If I'm you, as much as I love Gaskin and Sermon, and I just talked them up like crazy, I would look to maybe trade a Godwin and Gaskin or Godwin and Sermon. You might have to wait till Sermon pops off a little bit. It might be one of those moves where you wait a week or two. Don't think you got to trade before week 1 and try and get an extra Justin Jefferson or something using two of those bench guys. I like that team a lot, man. Very, very good. Be patient with your players because some of them are going to gain value. You don't want to trade them before they've gained it all. You want to let them increase in value before you start moving them. Kyle says you missed Jeff's super chat. Oh, God. Where's Jeff's super chat? Jeff. Here we go. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for reminding me, too. Okay, Jeff, you're on the docket. Brandon, you still here, pal? Hope Brandon's still here. Super chat from Brandon. Smitty accepted the trade D Swift for Cup. Team is now Josh Allen, Eckler, Swift, Ridley, Jefferson as a core. I like it, bro. That was a good trade for you. Cup and Swift are very close for me. I think I'd rather have Swift probably than Kupp if you needed a running back, and that's somebody that isn't super high on Swift. Like, that's a good value. That's buying Swift at that place I was talking about over here on the board, where it's like Swift in round 3. No. Swift in, the 4-5 turn turns into a value grab. Yeah, Robert, we've been talking about that already. That Lat Murray talking about. Definitely already been talking about it. Yes, sir. Gus or Robbie in the flex for week 1? Robbie Anderson? Gus Edwards, pal. Yeah, I mean, I get that Robbie Anderson's kind of an attractive, player to. Oh, it's my pick in that draft. Okay, I get it. He's kind of an attractive player to own, but like, we're really talking about Robbie Anderson over Gus Edwards? No, Damian. Gus Edwards, pal. It's not even close. I mean, could Robbie Anderson just totally outball him in week 1 and me live to regret saying that? Yeah, that could happen, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not gonna happen. Dak, Cook, Najee, D-Hop, Kupp, Waller, Clyde, Moore, Judy, Harris, Corey Davis, AB, and Sermon. Did Najee over Chubb, Hopkins over Ridley. I don't mind Hopkins over Ridley or Ridley over Hopkins, but I do like Najee over Chubb. So yeah. So Cook, Najee, D-Hop, wow, Dak. I mean, what is this, a 3-team league? How do you get Cook top 4 pick, top 5 pick, easy, top 4 pick, D-Hop top 14 pick, Najee top 14 pick, Clyde top 15 pick? Like, what do you play? Who are you playing with, Rhett? Who are you playing with, pal? Get me in that league. Why didn't I get an invite? I mean, you took grandma to school, bro. I'm going to DM you on Instagram with a team that I picked 3rd overall in a 10-team league. Let me know how you feel about it. Blake, remind me that you send a super chat so I take extra good care of you. And I'm like, Blake, I don't have time for a DM. not that I talk to people that way, but I just want Blake, you to get some extra special care. Okay, so make sure you remind me that you dropped a super chat, and I appreciate you. Jacob, hopefully you're still here, Jacob. LaVisca Chenault for Javonte. We talked about that on the drive over. Why have you not done that already, Jacob? Have you done that already? Jacob, I'm looking for you in the chat. I'm looking for a victory lap. I don't see you in the chat with a victory lap, Jacob. Where are you? Hopefully you already did this deal. I mean, LaVisca Chenault, you're going to give up only LaVisca Chenault for Javonte Williams, potential top 10 running back? Absolute home run of a trade. You bet, Damian. Keenan Allen and Ayuk for Justin Jefferson. Is that JJ Justin Jefferson or is that Julio Jones? That better be Justin Jefferson, and if it is, I'm taking JJ and Myers all freaking day. Number 1, as much as I love Ayuk, you could argue that that Jacoby Myers is as good as Ayuk. You could argue that I want Jacoby Myers instead of Ayuk, and I wouldn't get mad at you. No one's going to toss an eyeball emoji your way, and you're going to trade Justin Jefferson for Keenan Allen? Like, absolute home run, bro. Home run to the max. Okay, Blake, Damian, I think I took care of everybody on the super chats. Not that everybody else doesn't deserve to get their questions answered too. I do have a pizza pie that's sitting here, and I am on the clock in one league. Let's see what I should do here. Tell me what you guys would do. Let's plug in. While I eat, you draft a team. Not now. Share screen. So I'm on the clock. I'm hurting at running back, that's for sure. I punted running back, and it didn't backfire. It just didn't fall right, I would say. So I've got Najee. This is the one where I decided to take him at 5 to see how it felt. And I don't mind it. Najee, Justin Jefferson, Patty Mahomes in a 6-point per TD league. 6 points per TD pass. And I got Patty Mahomes at 3.5. Justin Jefferson safe. This is what I'm talking about. When you go Harris, ultra early, I still absolutely love my team. Mike Evans, I drafted Amari Cooper instead of forcing a running back because I have a feeling I'm going to be able to trade Cooper in something for a running back too. So I'm going to take the risk of not having a legit running back too. I'll start a plethora of different PPR guys. But who do I take in this pick? Tunyon. Let's see here. McKissick. Did I go wide receiver again? Probably not. Tight ends. Awesome, Jacob. Who we taking here? Jacob did it. Javonte's his. Attaboy. He took a lap like a grown man, and now he's taking victory laps. You take laps on the show, you end up taking victory laps in life. That's our motto. Connor, Fant. All those running backs are terrible. I know. That's why I keep taking the best player available each time. Fant. Tunyon. This is rough trading. This is probably one of those teams that's like, this is going to be a project team. But very quickly I could turn it into a solid team. Whoever you think is a starter. Go tight end. Drake or Connor. Zach, Drake or Fant. Drake or Connor. I think Connor. Terry says, hey Smitty, here you go, buddy. Thanks for your hard work. Love the show. Love you, show, guys. My draft is less than an hour away. I will be here until 5:40. Okay. Stay disciplined, Terry. Stay disciplined, pal. Don't let guys slip away, but also don't reach. You got to have a happy medium. Connor? I don't know about Connor, man. I don't like Connor. He probably is the best player here, though, on the running back list. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I have a draft. Do I have a draft now? I have a draft at 5. I have a draft at 5. Mr. Super Chat. Okay, Steve, how does it not show up for me? It's the craziest thing. There's too many messages that go by and then it gets thrown in the middle. So thank you for reminding me. Grade my team, 12-team PPR. Tannehill, Clyde, Gus, Harris, Carter, Stevenson, Adams, Ridley, Devontae Smith, Callaway, Rondell, Hawkinson. Okay, so you got tight end on lock. Your running backs are Clyde, Gus, and is that which Harris is that? That's got to be Damian because you're listing him after Gus Edwards. So I'm going to assume Damian. If it was Najee Harris, I'd be jumping out of my seat for you. But I have a feeling that's not. I try and trade Gus and Harris for Najee. I try and trade Gus and Harris for another Clyde Edwards-Helaire or higher type like a Gibson. I don't touch Adams and Ridley. I potentially package Deontay and Gus or Harris and Deontay, or you got to do something. Tannehill's decent and solid and undervalued, but obviously he doesn't excite me as much as a bigger named quarterback. But I feel like you can make one trade and be right in the top 3 or 4, bro. You just got to make one of those trades packaging Deontay. Or, if I'd rather get Callaway into your lineup, so it would be Adams, Ridley, Callaway. So Deontay, or if Devonta Smith gains value, Devonta Smith could be a great guy to trade. But Gus, Harris, very, very good trade bait. So, but you do need to make one move, I think, in order to be, in my opinion, the top team. Blake just sent it on Insta. Blake, okay, I'll look for you, pal. DJ Moore, Ayuk week 1. I mean, that's a toss-up, man. Diego, ask me that on Saturday night, and we'll get some people's opinions for it too. In your vids, you said to trade Barkley. Who should I target decent in return? I mean, I love the guys that people laugh at you taking right over Barkley. Harris, Gibson. I trade for those guys over for Barkley any day of the week. I just don't feel like Barkley's going to be fully ready. He looks like he might play, but everyone's taking this news as like he's activated to play. Like, how much is it? What's his pitch count going to be? PPR week 1 start Javonte Williams or Josh Jacobs? Thanks, sir. Probably Jacobs for week 1, which I hate to say. I'm trying to be realistic. Unless, ask me Saturday night. Don't make a decision now. I'm not going to give you an answer. No, I'm not saying Jacobs. Forget it. Ask me Saturday night when we have a better feel of what Javonte could be looking at. Odell for Javonte, I take Javonte. Even in redraft, but especially in Dynasty. But I'm pretty sure that's a redraft question. Connor has chronic toe problems. I worry about Connor as well. Elijah Moore or Rondell Dynasty. Probably Elijah Moore right now, but I love both of them. I think both of them have tons of upside, man. Javonte, Sermon, Kenny Golladay, Devontae Smith, flex, full PPR. Probably going to go with... I'm going to go with Sermon for right now or Javonte, but ask me Saturday night. It's a little hard to give you an exact answer now, and I don't want you to roll with this and then hear me talking Javonte up. Our pizza supply is great. I'm going to move the mic a little bit away just so you don't hear me eating. If Latavius Murray goes to Baltimore, is Tyson season over? I don't know if I'd say that, pal. Tyson's got some upside, but yeah, it doesn't help. Trade Swift for Gaskin in a heartbeat. I take Gaskin over Swift in a heartbeat. But that's me. Terry loves the questions. It's helped preparing him for his draft. So keep him rolling. Andrew Silva. Evan with the super. Evan says, regret my Cook pick. Best time to trade him. Let him go off a little bit or try and sell him at his value you paid. Like, can you get a Lamb and a Clyde? Like something crazy like that for Cook? Try, pal. Try. For sure. I try for something like that all day long. Try not to eat into the mic. Robert Woods or Robbie Anderson? Robert Woods. Why is Robbie Anderson getting so much love? Why are we ranking Robbie Anderson this high? I don't understand. Was able to pull off a Mahomes-Kelsey stack night. Attaboy. Attaboy. But yeah, don't trade Evan. Don't trade Cook low at all. Like, regret it. I don't know why you necessarily regret it, other than you passed on like Kamara or Zeke, which you might have. So try and trade him for Zeke and Pollard. But if you get Zeke without Pollard, you're in the same boat of just having Cook and no Madison. If you've got Madison, you're good. I certainly expect Cook to miss some time this year. Let me put it that way. But if you got Madison, you're good. If you didn't get Madison, Evan, that's what you should regret. You got to reach for Madison. But maybe you can still get him. And so my answer here, Andrew, is Robert Woods. Now, Robbie Anderson's probably going to make me look like an idiot in week 1. Watch. But I just don't... I don't know. I don't understand the Robbie Anderson hype. Yeah, Robbie did good, but I just don't... Everyone's putting him in like a really high ADP range. Who does stash, Tyson Williams or Terrence Marshall? It depends if you need a running back or wide receiver. It's pretty close. I'm not saying don't start Robbie Anderson. I don't know that I'm starting him over Robert Woods and guys like that are getting drafted way higher than him. You know? It's not that I don't play him or find a way to shove him into a flex spot, but the questions being asked are like, you know, I don't know who to take in this draft. Kevin with a super. Grade this team. QB Kyler, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Zeke. I love that start, bro. Javonte, you gotta be kidding me. Diggs, Lamb, this is like a 3-team league, bro. It's amazing. There's no way that's a 12-team league. No way. It's at least at 8 or it could be at 10. But who are you playing with? Fantastic team, Kevin. I mean this as a compliment, but that team is too good. Like, how could you draft that team? Did somebody allocate you accidentally $300 in a $200 auction league? Like, how can you assemble that? No way. That's a 10-team league even. Kevin, how many teams, man? What should we do with Michael Carter, hold or flip? I don't think you can flip him for anything. You either wait on him or you don't. Now, here's a question where I'm going to say Robbie Anderson over Juju. Probably. Like, I like Robbie Anderson in that scenario. I don't like Robbie Anderson over, like, high-end wide receiver 2s. I like Robbie Anderson as a flex or a wide receiver 3. 10 team, okay. Bro, it's a good team, man. I'm halfway joking with you, like, going at your team. Like, you have a really good team. Herbert, Lance, CMC, J-Rob, Gus, Sermon, Gus. 2 Gus Edwards. As you said, you didn't mean to type Gus twice. Keenan Allen, Deontay, AB, Waddle, Chark, Ingram. Okay, so decently good wide receivers for sure. They're not like bad or they're not also the best in the league, I can tell. But you have CMC, Herbert. Is this a 2 QB league? Is this a super flex league, Mike? I need that information. You list 2 quarterbacks, so I'm kind of assuming yeah, or you're just giving me both your quarterbacks. I would trade. I feel like a couple guys got taken a little too high because it feels a little light. It feels like there's like one big gun missing from this team. Like maybe an injury happened, like J.K. Dobbins went down. That's what I think of when I see this team. I'm thinking you lost like J.K. because it feels a little bit light. I don't know if that was because you reached on Gus or you reached on Keenan Allen or you reached on J-Rob. You reached on somebody because you had on a 1 QB league you have a little bit of a gap. See, there he goes. He says he lost J.K. Dobbins. Am I not psychic? Am I not psychic? The man didn't even. Did you put that in here? He didn't even say it. He didn't even say it. And good on you for not making excuses. You just dropped your team. You didn't go, hey, I lost J.K. This is my team. Like you took ownership and said, here's my team. This is my team. But I could tell you lost somebody. What you need to do is trade Gus and Deontay for like a Jefferson or a Hill or a Ridley. You need to get a big gun into this offense and get it back, high-powered. I think between Gus, Sermon, J-Rob, you have an expendable running back to do a 2-for-1. And so I attack that at every turn. Go get a 5, a 6, top 5, top 6 wide receiver. And use, if you can, use Gus and Waddle if you can, but Gus and Deontay. Gus and AB, maybe. AB could be a crafty wide receiver 3 for you, too, if you end up trading Deontay. Or wide receiver 2. So either trade Deontay or AB, and whichever one you don't trade, put into your wide receiver 2 spot. And maybe you end up trading Gus and, Deontay or Gus and AB for a wide receiver. So then you're going to have AB or Deontay in your wide receiver 3 spot. But I would go that route, pal. I would go that route. What should I do with Michael Carter, hold or flip? I think I already answered that, but I would say you can't trade him for much. Just hold him. Should I trade Taylor? It depends on for what, pal. I mean, can you sell high? Who are you going to get? Can you get a Najee Harris or a Gibson? If you want to get out of Taylor for whatever reason, you're mad you took him. I don't know. Depends on the situation. All right, so let's go over some matchups. Top team. So we got the pizza pie. Now we're on start bench advice. So let me put this on screen. Look at Jason K dropping some love with the 20 spot. Thank you, pal. Thank you for the consistent content throughout the entire offseason. Didn't miss a single show. LaVisca Chenault or Javonte Williams. Javonte! Oh, as the flex. I thought you were getting a trade here. I thought we had a trade. I thought we had another LaVisca for a Javonte trade. I was about to flip out again. I probably go Javonte in week 1. It's risky, but here, Jason, you've never missed a show, so I assume you're not going to miss Saturday night's live stream. Let's attack this Saturday night. I don't want to give an answer here. And for those that don't know, let me tell you my live stream schedule. My live stream schedule is crazy now. And you guys, if you guys like the live streams, you're about to get so many of them moving forward. Let me get a calendar icon here and post that, and then put that right here. So here's the so Tuesday I'm live at 5 p.m. Thursday I'm live at 5 p.m. Friday I'm live at probably midnight Eastern, maybe later. That one's kind of like potentially 1 a.m. Eastern. Saturday night I'm live at probably 11 p.m. Eastern. So this is what the new live stream schedule is going to look like moving forward. So let me put text on screen. It says live streaming schedule. Tell me that's not taking care of my people. So Jason, you have tons of ways to get in contact with me again about this question. For now, I'm going to give you Javonte, but let's revisit this come Saturday, okay? So Jason K, I'm writing your name down here so I can remember to look for you. I don't know that I'm going to remember why I wrote Jason K down on my board, to be completely honest, Jason, but you can remind me. We need to take care of you on this question. Okay, pal? More super chats rolling in. I appreciate you, Jason. You're the man. Baked In Boys dropping a 20. Put you right there. Retro dropping another super chat. Got you right there. And then Javon, Mr. Jackson says, what are your thoughts on drafting players from the same team? I took Mahomes and Kelsey, Clyde, and Buckner. Look, it all depends on how potent the offense is. And more importantly, Mr. Jackson, it depends on how consistent the offense is too. How likely they are to be throwing in the fourth and third quarter like the Bills. If you take Diggs and you take Josh Allen and let's say you have Gabe Davis as well, like you're going to rarely see this offense struggle and therefore you're going to have this offense constantly producing. You'll have 1 or 2 games maybe where the Bills don't do well offensively. They have a tough matchup, and you have a loss because of that. But what's more important than that is to spread out. If let's say you're taking a Dak in round 6 and you're taking a Lamb in round 3, you're not relying on the Cowboys to win a game. If the Cowboys do badly, you're talking about a 6th round pick and a 3rd round pick. That's very different than having like Mahomes and Hill as your 1 and 2 picks. You have more value and weight on the KC players to win your week than the Dak and Lamb owner have, because you got a 1st, a 2nd, and a 4th rounder still to support your team if Dak and Lamb don't do well. Whereas if Mahomes and Kelsey do badly, you're hit harder. So a lot of it depends on how you build the stack, how you invest in the stack, like what are the costs and how much supporting cast you have above or below it talent-wise. So all KC players, you are going to have bad games. I drafted, I did it on a live stream. I drafted every single, Jason didn't miss it because he never misses a show. I drafted the entire KC team last year, and it didn't win. It didn't. I think it may have made the playoffs, but it lost in the 1st round. And I just couldn't get enough consistency. I had every single KC player and not a single player that wasn't a KC Chief. I had all the Chiefs in there. Now, granted, you draft a stack like yours, you will have some more supporting cast than I did. But it is not as easy as it looks to stack one team, especially when you're talking about high-end draft picks. Blake with another super chat. Okay, Baked In Boys with a 20. I appreciate that, Baked In Boys. Attaboy. 8 team starters are Mahomes, CMC, Najee Harris, Diggs, Lamb, Shenault, Logan Thomas, Chris Carson. Benches Herbert, Gaskin, Sermon, Callaway. What moves should you be making? First of all, great team. I know it's an 8-team league, and I'm not going to crap on how good it is because it's an 8-team league, because you came out front with it. You said 8-team league, and you told us the truth, and I love it. And the only thing I would say you need to do, not getting rid of McCaffrey, I'm not getting rid of Mahomes, I'm not getting rid of Najee, I'm not getting rid of Diggs, I'm not getting rid of Lamb. It's basically just getting that one extra player. I like Logan Thomas. I would, it's about, I mean, Gaskin. I don't know if you could put Gaskin in instead of Shenault as a flex. I love that too. But trading Sermon once he becomes what he's about to become. Trading Carson and maybe Gaskin if the price is right. Carson and Herbert, if whoever, I mean, it's an 18 league, you probably can't get trade a quarterback very easily. But if Sermon gains tons of value, Damian Harris, Sermon, and Carson with Shenault, I'm trading that combination. I'll trade in an 8-team league. First of all, Baked In Boys, waivers are going to be deep in an 8-team league. In an 8-team league, deep. I would trade every single one of Harris, Sermon, Carson. I know nobody's going to want to take all of them, but I'm just letting you know how I feel. I would trade all of those players. Carson, Herbert, Damian Harris, and Sermon. I'd trade all of them for one player that you can insert into your lineup, like a Jefferson or another Lamb type. I know you got Lamb. But I'd trade all of that for one player because your waiver wire is probably loaded. So I don't value depth as much in an 8-team league because you can go find it on the bench. But I move all those guys, bro. Thank you for the super chat. And let me know on Saturday and Friday night what you do if you have more options, or even before the show's over. If you have another idea or somebody sends you an offer. I'm about to head to dinner in about 5. Can you go over my 2 teams that I sent before I leave? Blake, okay. I'm sorry, Blake. I didn't know you wanted me to do that on the live stream. I thought you were just telling me. Okay, Blake's going to dinner. Blake, what are you having for dinner, pal? Lou Molinati's pizza like me? All right, where's Blake? Where's Blake? There's Blakey boy. All right, Blake says from the 3rd pick. Holy crap, Blake. Okay, got a lot of messages here. First team is Allen, Aaron Jones, Dobbins. Sorry to hear. Diggs, Jefferson. Fantastic team. Judy. Your bench, you got Damian Harris, good trade bait. AJ Dillon, let him gain value. The only trade piece you have is Damian Harris on the bench. and you lost J.K. Dobbins. So I'm looking, if I'm you, to trade Damian Harris and Deontay Johnson for one player, and I think that's an attractive package, and you could get it done. One player being somebody you draft in the top 25, if at all possible. Get a Clyde in there. I suppose you could trade Deontay for Javonte, like try and go that route. If you've got to give another player, I would look to do that. Get Javonte into that Dobbins spot and make up for it with a top potential 6 to 10 running back. That would be my advice for Team 1. Team 2, Russell Wilson, Kamara, Gibson, A.J. Brown, Thielen, Kittle, Deontay. Again, you love Deontay. That's okay. That's okay. A.B., Higbee, Callaway. I like Callaway. I almost want to get Callaway into your lineup, so let's look how we can get rid of somebody. Thielen. Trade Thielen away. Thielen and Deontay, or trade Thielen and you could get Higbee into your lineup if you want and trade Kittle. You know, if you wanted to upgrade, Thielen, you could go Thielen and Kittle, get Higbee into your lineup and get a top 5, top 3 wide receiver. Or trade, Thielen and man, that's a tough one. Try and get Lamb in this league. I bet you Lamb would be the cheapest wide receiver you could get using Deontay and potentially Thielen. If you're going to trade Kittle away, you could get any wide receiver you want. Like if you package Thielen or Deontay with Kittle, I imagine you could get any wide receiver you want. Just poke around at the top 3 or 4. And then the last team, Josh Allen, Aaron Jones, Gus Edwards, Diggs, Jefferson, Hooper, Deontay, Judy. And your bench, you've got Mooney, Damian Harris again. Damian Harris is a weak link to me. A trade high. I don't know why I don't trust him, but I don't. Trade Edwards and Deontay, or Edwards and Harris, or Harris and Deontay, and do the same thing, bro. Go get a Ridley. If you get rid of Edwards and Deontay, you could go with a Clyde or a Gibson or a Harris. I would go after Harris. I'm trying to get Harris somehow on this team. Then it'd be straight fire with Jefferson, Diggs, Harris, Aaron Jones, and Josh Allen. And all the teams where you got Callaway, I want to get Callaway into your lineup. That's my advice for you, pal. Hopefully that helped you. Thank you for the super chat again. You're the man. You're the man, man. Retro Dev says rate and start. We might have to go over some of these starts on Saturday night, pal. But I'll try and give you my opinion. Burrow, Lawrence. I mean, that's a tough one for week 1. I don't know where I'm leaning right now. I think we need to probably Lawrence against Houston. So we'll revisit that. Chubb and Najee, great. Gus Edwards, you start him in week 1. Javonte Williams, just Jamal Williams, Lions. So Gus, Chubb, Najee, pretty clear cut. I mean, you could consider Harris if you only start 3 running backs. So, but for now, I would go Gus. AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Ayuk. I would start those 3 wide receivers. It's pretty clear. Andrews, if you can only start 2 wide receivers, it would be AJ Brown and probably Ayuk for week 1. But we got to watch more and see what's what. But try your best, bro, to ask me this on Saturday night, and we'll take care of it then too. But good team. Any weak links? I would trade. I love Chubb and Najee, given the values you got them at. I would trade Gus and Harris, or Gus or Harris away with DJ Moore, or with Curtis Samuel or Ayuk. So Harris and Ayuk for a solid running back. Or trade Gus and DJ Moore, or Gus and Ayuk for a Gibson or Clyde. I definitely go that route. That would be my... I've given a lot of the same advice to a lot of you because I feel like you're asking for a running back to upgrade into. And the 3 best are Najee Harris, Gibson, and Clyde, because those guys all fall in round 2 to the top of 3. Those are the value running back grabs in round 2 / bottom or top of 3 that could be top 5 to 10 running backs. So it's gonna be some of the same guys. Live stream scheduled Tuesday 5 p.m. Eastern, Thursday 5 p.m. Eastern, Friday midnight Eastern, and Saturday roughly 11 p.m. Eastern. Each of these, the first 2 shows will be 2 hours long. This show's got 20 minutes left. The Friday show is about an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long. The Saturday show is probably like anywhere between an hour and a half to 3 hours long. Like we get crazy on Saturday nights depending on how many people we have in here. Right now we got 141 on Saturday nights. The pandemic season last year, 2020, was weird. I don't even know if we can translate anything from last year. The year prior, we had 900 people live in one of our Saturday night shows. It was madness. It was crazy. It was awesome. And I mean, given we have 140 to 200 in here during this show, I can't imagine that Saturday night we won't be hopping like at least 500 to 1,000, but we'll see. Why would anyone want Harris and DJ Moore instead of Gibson? I don't know, Matt. That's why you make the offer. I'm ready for some football. Harrison and DJ Moore for, I mean, you could maybe get a Montgomery. We're getting 1K Saturday night, says Balachi. Attaboy. Edwards or Chenault as a flex. You got to go Gus Edwards. Okay, so let's go over some of these matchups here. We got Dallas, Tampa Bay, Buccaneers. It's going to be a tough game for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a tough Tampa Bay defense. I'm still not benching any of my Dak, Elliott, or Lamb shares. Tampa Bay could be scored on. Tampa Bay can, this could be a high-scoring affair, even with Tampa Bay having a good D. Brady's probably going to have a really good game. I don't know what to do with the running back spots. I think until Giovanni Bernard proves himself healthy and ready to rumble and knows the playbook and everything, I don't think he's going to threaten too much on week 1. But who do you start? Ronald Jones, Fournette, Ronald Jones. I stay clear from that running game. Tom Brady should have a big day. Evans and Godwin, assuming Godwin's healthy and Evans is healthy, AB's healthy. These guys are all threats for like 90 yards and a touchdown. I think the odds of Evans having the better game is better. The odds are in his favor. So Evans, 90 to 100 yards and a touchdown. Godwin, 70 to 80 yards, potential touchdown. And then AB, 70 yards and a 50% shot at a touchdown. Lamb, we'd be lucky if Lamb got 65 yards and a score. And it could happen. And I think Lamb could be a very good buy low coming out of week 1. We need to watch that. This is one of the exciting parts about fantasy football for me. Coming out of week 1 are the buy lows, the knee-jerk reactions people have based on week 1. Lamb might be the guy. We might be walking into week 2 excited that Lamb didn't pop off in week 1 because people are so quick to react. Zeke Elliott, he'd be lucky to get 100 total yards and a touchdown, but you're still not going to sit him because all it takes is one breakaway run to get you a 55-yard scamper into the end zone. Trevor Lawrence, I think he has a pretty good debut against the Houston Texans. You can't do better than that matchup, man. And I don't start anybody on Houston. Nobody. Nada. Not a single soul is on a... I don't have a single Houston Texans player on like all 25 of my teams. So I have like 25 teams this year. They're not best ball teams either. Blake says the first and last team is the same one. I just got rid of Carter. Okay, gotcha. Appreciate you, man. I got all Smitty's recommendations. Attaboy, broski. Okay, so let's put the matchup on screen. Jacksonville at Houston. And let's change the background color. And let's change the font. Okay, here we go. Jacksonville at Houston. I'm going to roll with Trevor Lawrence in situations where, like, you're in best ball. You go on over to Underdog Fantasy, right? And you're playing best ball. Play best ball while you still have a shot to do it. Your week 1 could be garbage. You could have injuries hit you. Your whole season could go down. Get a best ball team drafted so you have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 best ball teams that you don't have to set lineups for. Best ball,
sets them for you. You draft, and you're done. It's $10 minimum deposit. You get a free phone call from me. They match up to, they give you a $25 bonus right away when you do a $10 deposit. So they don't even match it. They just give it to you. $25. And you can use that. Play best ball. Have a bunch of drafts on a list here, so you can go through each Sunday and go, okay, how did I do in this best ball league? You don't set any lineups. You don't pull off waivers. Nothing. It's one and done. Draft and done. And then you have something to look forward to if crap hits the fan in week 1 and injuries happen. Don't not have something like cooking in terms of best ball. Best ball is so fun too. It sounds like if you've never done it, you're like, I don't know if I want a league where I don't do any lineup changes. You love it. You love monitoring a team where you drafted a bench it's going to set your optimal lineup each week. And you're like, I'm going to take Pollard, I'm going to take Madison, I'm going to take AJ Dillon, I'm going to take Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams doesn't have to start for you in week 1 because it sets your lineup for you. And then once Javonte gets in there, Pollard gets in there for 4 weeks, let's say. You've got Callaway in there, Mike Thomas. Now that rotates, maybe Callaway fades and Mike Thomas explodes. It does it for you. So go to smitty1.com right here. Click on this banner right here. Enter promo code Smitty. And the link to this promo code is on smitty1.com. Just click this banner and play best ball. But where was I going with that? Oh, in best ball drafts, like you got Trevor Lawrence on your bench as your backup quarterback. He might start for you this week in best ball because he's going to have such a good matchup. Chark and Chenault, they're good plays this week. I just don't like some of the questions about putting big name guys on the bench for Chenault. But either one could have a big week. James Robinson should have a nice little day, 100 total yards and a score. Chargers at the Reds, the football team. I still catch myself. It's 20 years of saying it. Chargers, Herbert's the GOAT. We know that, right? Tough defense, though. But Herbert's still going to, I think, ball. I think he can still have a good two TD game. I think Eckler is going to have a little bit tougher day than people hope. This is a good defense, man. This is a really good defense. So Eckler might be a good buy low, like Lamb might be. Lamb and Elliott and Amari Cooper and Dak and Herbert and Keenan Allen and Eckler could all be good buy lows. They could be. They could have mediocre days. Not saying I bench them, but just saying this is a good week to potentially be prepared to buy low heading into the next week. Fitzpatrick probably has a good 200-yard, 1-2 TD day. McLaurin, I'm going to say, has 90 to 100 yards and a touchdown. Gibson has over 100 total yards and at least one score. 3-4 receptions at least. I think it's going to be a big day. These are my early predictions. Seattle at Indy. I'm going to say Seattle completely blast the hell out of them. I think JT probably has a decent day, like 90 to 100 total yards and a touchdown. I think Russell Wilson balls out. I know Indy could definitely cause some problems for Seattle, but I think Seattle is going to definitely air it out. I think DK is going to have a good 70, 80, 90 yards and a touchdown. I think Carson's going to be about 80 rushing and a potential shot at a score. Russell Wilson, 2 passing TDs. It isn't an easy matchup, but I think Seattle's going to ball. I think Indy could score on them. Indy could run the football fairly well on Seattle. That's why JT could have a good 90 to 120 yards and a touchdown. Everybody can't score a touchdown. These are shots. If you listen to me clearly, I'm saying a shot at a touchdown, 50% shot at a touchdown, or 1 to 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm giving you some good clarity on that. New York Football Jets at the Carolina Panthers. Give McCaffrey an explosion back. 110 rushing yards, 2 scores, 30 receiving, or maybe 1 score receiving, 1 rushing touchdown. I don't know. He'll have 2 touchdowns, 110 yards. DJ Moore, Let's call it 65 yards. New York Jets, I'm going to say Zach Wilson looks ultra impressive, but has some ups and downs, but looks ultra, like we know he's got it just watching him. This could be one of those like 250s, 275 games, 2 TDs, 1 INT. Give Elijah Moore a touchdown and a real exciting week 1. I think Moore could be phenomenal. I think Elijah Moore is going to be a really good wide receiver right away, and people are going to be like, do I start him over big name players heading into week 2? We're gonna have our hands full with eventual Elijah Moore start bench questions. You mark my words on that. Cincinnati, until we see them bounce back, it's safe to be like, hey, let's wait on that, okay? So Cook should have 110 yards and a touchdown. Jefferson, 90 and a score, maybe 2 scores. That means Cousins is going to have a pretty decent day. Cousins could be a good, DFS play. So Cousins could have a big day. Burrow has a lot to prove, and I'm not going to count Burrow out. Could Burrow be the guy to turn heads in week 1 and shut all the preseason ridicule to shame and prove why preseason doesn't mean anything? Yeah, he could. But until we see him bounce back, you just got to be careful with the Bengal wide receivers. You could start Higgins as a wide receiver 3 pretty easily. Even low-end wide receiver 2. Chase will eventually be a wide receiver 1 on the team, I believe. I think he even overtakes Higgins. I know a lot of people disagree with that. And that's fine. I could be wrong. I could change directions too if Chase doesn't develop. He's been out of football for a while. Maybe that affects him longer than I predict, but I think he's going to get in a groove as soon as Burrow's in a groove. I mean, a lot of what Jamar Chase is dealing with, it's because Burrow's not fully going at the pace he should be going, coming off the ACL injury. So I'm going to go ahead and say stay away from Bengals minus Higgins and Mixon if you've got him. You can't sit him. But I don't know that he has 110 yards and a touchdown or something. It could be one of those like 70, 80-yard games. Arizona Cardinals at Tennessee. How does Henry not have 100 yards and a touchdown? The question about Henry is not will he ball out early on. Henry had 125 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 1. Do you feel sorry for what you've said, and will you take it back? And will you give everybody an apology video? No. Henry's going to ball out. I've said this every time I say be careful with Henry or trade Henry in double-digit weeks. Almost every single time I say that, I follow it up with Henry will beast out in the early part of the year, which is why you can still draft him and trade him high. So, no, I'm not going to feel bad at all. I'm predicting Henry to explode in week 1 against my Cardinals. He'll probably do very well. 100 yards, easy, and a touchdown. Seems doable. A.J. Brown is concerning me a little bit because of the knees and the fact that Julio's there to just kind of mess things up a little bit. The dynamic's going to be changed, but I think A.J. Brown, I hate saying this because I feel like I was the highest on him last year over anybody, and I love A.J. Brown, but I feel like he could have some ups and downs to start off the year as Julio and A.J. Brown get used to that, sharing that role. And that doesn't mean that Julio's going to go nuts. It just means they got more. Even though you lost target shares with Jonnu and Corey Davis leaving, it's different. These are 2 very similar alpha types. And even though Julio's dropping off in my mind a lot, he's still an alpha, commands a lot of respect and targets, whether he is efficient with them, whether he gets down the field like he used to and turns them into what he used to. It's a little bit worrisome to be banking on A.J. Brown at the top of his tier. That's why in the tier of or the group of 8 wide receivers that could all be number 1 overall, and A.J. Brown's still one of them. He could be number 1. He could get on a tear, week 4, 5, 6 all the way on. I'm merely talking about week 1. I'm worried about the adjustment period in this offense changing because the dynamic, everything's going to change and shift with Julio being on roster. So I'm not saying A.J. Brown can't be the number 1 wide receiver at the end of the year. He certainly could be. I just feel like this could be one of those players that you can buy low is basically what I'm trying to tell you, because I think A.J. Brown may not pop off right away. He could struggle as the team gets very settled with their new offense, because it's very different. It's going to be different how it works, how it functions. So keep an eye on A.J. Brown and attacking a trade if people start worrying about him, because people are fickle. People jump ship very early. People get worried very, very quickly. So AZ, Tennessee, it doesn't mean I don't bench A.J. Brown. I don't bench, Julio as a wide receiver 3. I'm just saying, be cautious of A.J. Brown's buy low value. You could get him potentially low if he has a couple struggling weeks. Arizona, give me Hopkins all day for 90 yards and a touchdown. Give me 2 total scores. I don't know, 40 rushing, 50 rushing for Kyler. Well over 200 passing. A good top 5 quarterback game for him. And I don't want any of the running backs. I like Rondell Moore, but we're going to wait on him and see if he, turns into an amazing rookie production type player right away. But I'm going to go ahead and say that, I don't know that I start anybody but Kyler and Hopkins in week 1 for the Cardinals. Niners, San Fran at Detroit. This is going to be brutal. Brutal. The Niners are going to lambaste, however you want to say the word, the heck out of Detroit. I don't see Swift getting what anybody hopes to get out of him in week 1. Are they going to pass to him in a sharing role where Jamal and him are sharing carries and receptions, and Detroit's down by 2, 3, 4 touchdowns, maybe 5, maybe 10? San Fran's going to ball. Does Sermon get a ton of run, or do they put him on the bench and save him? Do we see the Trey Lance and Jimmy timeshare, or do they let Jimmy finish the game out and they save Trey, keep Trey healthy? Like, who knows what's going to happen? Ayuk should play. He's taking punt return work in practice. You don't do that when you're questionable. Ayuk will play. Ayuk's a good elite wide receiver 3, potential low end wide receiver 2. Kittle, top 3 tight end start this week. Jimmy Garoppolo, very crafty DFS play. And Trey Lance, if he plays, we'll talk about it Saturday night. But if Trey Lance plays, Trey Lance is a sneaky 2 QB league start, because Trey Lance could have a rushing touchdown and whatever. He could score. So Mostert, 70 yards, shot at a touchdown. Sermon, 80 total yards, smaller shot at a touchdown than Mostert, but still a shot. And Debo, I don't know, 65, 70 yards. But Detroit, not really going near any Detroit players in week 1. If you have Swift and you drafted him to start, he's a good play for you in your scenario, but I'm not excited about his outing in 2021 week 1. Okay, let's see. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Give me Najee Harris for 125 total yards, at least 1 touchdown, and 4 receptions encompassed in that 125 total yard action. He could be one of those 2 TD guys in week 1. Deontay should have like a 70, 80 yard game. I think Claypool catches a touchdown. Deontay's got a shot at 1. Claypool's got 60 yards at a score. Big Ben could score twice, have a decent outing on through the air, keeping defenses honest, more honest than we thought. Najee balling out. But guess what? Buffalo's going to win this game big. And Josh Allen to Diggs, 2 touchdowns between the 2 of them. Josh Allen throwing for way over 300 yards and 3 TDs total. Allen's going to look like a beast. Give him 30 or 40 on the ground, even against Pittsburgh, at least 30. Josh Allen's a beast, man. And he's going to have a big, big year. I'm not starting any Buffalo running backs in this matchup. I'm Juju. I guess if you drafted him to start, shame on you, but put him in if you have him. Freiermuth is kind of sneaky, and I need to apologize. Where's my sad music? I would just like to say I'm reading this apology note. Where's my note? I don't know who said this, but dear follower, about 1 week ago,
I laughed at you when you said Freiermuth on my show. And I apologize. I ridiculed your question. I made you feel less than. I told you Freiermuth who? I said, Freiermuth? Freiermuth? Should we be worried about Freiermuth? I forget what I said to you. But I'm sorry. Because I like Freiermuth now. And I'm going to bandwagon on that train and tell you before week 1 starts, I'm on Team Freiermuth. And if you need a tight end in 2021, you got screwed out of all the options I told you to take and you didn't listen. You didn't take, Goddard. You didn't take Logan Thomas. You didn't take Tunyon. You didn't take Higbee. And you're struggling. Freiermuth is there on the waiver wire in most all formats. And I apologize for my actions and how I made you feel on said day about said Freiermuth young man. And for that, I will take a lap. I like Freiermuth in this matchup if you need a sneaky good tight end. That poor guy. I hope he's watching. I hope he didn't leave the show. If it's you, speak up, whoever it was. But my bad. I like Freiermuth. I like him now. People change. People change, buddy. Give me Hurts all day in this one. Give me Sanders at the right value. Give me Devontae Smith in a nice little breakout game. I think Hurts scores 300 passing yards. Everyone says he's a running gimmick quarterback. He throws for 300 yards. This guy's like give him 290, 300. 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing, at least. And I hope Rager does well, but I'm more hoping that Devontae Smith catches that touchdown pass. Atlanta, give me Kyle Pitts for 65 and a score. I think he scores on Sunday. Give me Ridley for 100 and a touchdown. Give me Davis for about 85 total yards, maybe 65 to 85. And Matt Ryan's going to have a 2 touchdown at least, 300 yard game, maybe 280, 300, pretty decent outing. So that's all I got to say about that. Goddard, probably pretty decent showing with PPR. Maybe he doesn't score, but he has 4 or 5 receptions for 60 yards as a decent outing. That's all I got to say about that. Cleveland at KC. Kell versus KC. Give me Chubb for 90. Give me Hunt for 70 on the ground. I don't know who's going to score. I think everybody assuming this is Nick Chubb's job only. I know he got the extension, but I think 90 to 100 yards is not out of the question in this matchup for Chubb, and 70 yards on the ground is not out of the question for Kareem Hunt. These guys are going to be both fed. Kareem Hunt will probably get more PPR work. Give him 3 or 4 receptions for the 30 yards, 40 yards. Give Chubb maybe 1 or 2 catches for 10, 12 yards. And if Chubb gets the touchdown, Hunt's going to get the PPR work. They probably score very, very close. I think Hunt's a very good value grab. I'm not loving Baker or any of these Cleveland receivers. Give me Mahomes for 302 or 3 touchdowns minimum. Give him 3. 335 and 3. Hill with 1 or 2. Kelsey with another. And Clyde with, 80 or probably 110 total yards and a strong shot at a rushing touchdown, depending on if KC scores 3 or 4 in the air. If they only score 2 or 3, Clyde's probably going to get 1 on the ground. This is going to be a big outing for KC, and I know Cleveland's no slouch on defense, but KC's going to ball out with their new offensive line, and I think Cleveland's got a shot at really surprising some people, sure, but they also have a similar shot of I think, under-delivering in 2021. I don't know. Call it the Browns effect. I don't know. I could be wrong about this one, and I will admit when I'm wrong if week 4 or 5, they just are killing and crushing it. But I have a feeling the Browns could underwhelm. They do get no respect.
Kelsey, I have a bad feeling about Kelsey missing time this year, but Kelsey, I would say that's just a gut call. Kelsey, I would say in this one's going to have about 90 to 100 yards. Easy. Good, strong shot at a touchdown. Hey, some of the calls have to be bold, bro. I can't just give you all the basic, easy peasy type predictions, pal. Some of them are going to be a little bit bolder than others. Do you want very bland content, or do you want my gut instinct on some of this stuff that might be a miss? It might be ahead of the curve. We'll see. We'll see. If the Browns fall apart, what are you going to say then? You know what I mean? T. Higgins or Curtis Samuel? T. Higgins, pal. Packers at the Saints. This will be a air out fest between Aaron Rodgers and Winston. It's going to be insane. This is going to be a lot of points scored. A-Rod tossing 1 or 2 to Adams, maybe another one to Tunyon. Aaron Jones probably 100 total yards and a touchdown on the ground. I suppose he could get that receiving touchdown over Tunyon, but Tunyon's gonna have a good 55, 60-yard game. Handful of receptions and that strong shot at a touchdown. A-Rod looking at 302 or 3 through the air. New Orleans, Winston, 1 or 2 picks, 2 or 3 TDs, probably give him 2. One of them or 2 of them to Callaway, but at least one of them. 90 yards to 100 yards for Callaway. 4, 5, 6 receptions for Callaway. Kamara's going to probably get the other touchdown. So it'll be 1 touchdown most likely to Callaway. 1 passing touchdown to Alvin Kamara. And Kamara will have 120 total yards in this one. It's going to be quite the yardage, touchdown, and fantasy football fest in this one. I'm excited for this game. Probably one of the most exciting games of the week now that Callaway and Winston are firing on all cylinders. I'm excited. Denver at the Giants. We're almost out of time. I'm going to blast through this real quick. Give me a little splash of Javonte, but maybe he doesn't have 100 total yards yet, but he looks primed and ready to go for week 2. But he will look the part. We will see flashes. We'll see what we want to see out of Javonte once he gets opportunities. Jerry Jeudy, give him 90 and a score. Okay, give Saquon about 50 yards, 55, 60 yards. I think he's on a pitch count. If he even plays, he should play. Word is he'll probably play, but he'll be on a pitch count. Golladay, I'm not sure. We'll address that on Saturday night, and we'll talk more about this matchup on Saturday night. Miami at New England. This game is going to be actually a pretty tough game. I don't know if it's high scoring. It could be where, these teams have a tough time scoring on each other. I think Gaskin has a 90 to 100 total yards and 1 touchdown. I think Tua looks okay at times and rough at other times. He's got a lot of talent that can carry him. I don't think Tua's ever going to be an elite machine in fantasy football, but he'll be efficient enough to not get washed out at the NFL level unless they replace him because they want to upgrade him. But he's going to do okay because he's got good supporting cast. Waddle will look okay. I don't think he scores maybe, but he has 60, 70 yards. I think Gaskin's the true hero on the Miami side of the football. New England, I don't know. Harris could have a good game. He could. I think Mack looks pretty darn good. Jacoby Myers, 70 yards and a touchdown. Mack looks good. This is a big game, and I think the Patriots win this one. I haven't gone over a lot of wins and losses. We'll do that on Saturday night. But I think the Patriots probably pulled that one off. The Patriots are going to look tough. Los Angeles Rams are at home against the Bears. Bears are going to have probably a tough game in this one with the offensive line still trying to get healthy. I don't know if they'll all be on the field or not. We'll kind of play that by ear on Saturday and talk about that offensive line and being banged up. Fields isn't playing. Maybe he comes in at halftime. I predict Fields comes in at halftime. By halftime, Fields will be on the field. Dalton gets hurt. Or just replaced. Let's just say replaced. I don't want to wish injury upon anybody. No. He gets replaced by halftime. And Fields comes in, marches him back, but barely loses the game. Prediction. Comes in, looks great, almost wins the game, walks into week 2 with all this hype. He almost came back. Look at it. Monty has a decent game. 100 total yards. Strong shot at a touchdown. A-Rob, 70 yards. 5 receptions. Rams, Woods and Cup, let's say 65 each. One of them grabs a touchdown. Which one? I don't know. Who knows? No one knows. No one knows. Is it Cup? Is it Woods? Everyone's arguing back and forth. Stafford's going to look hot and cold. Stafford's going to have to get used to this team, build rapport. People love Stafford,
but I worry about him right out of the gate. Hendy, give him 70 yards, strong chance at a touchdown. That's how I feel about that. And the last game, the Baltimore Ravens at the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to go Lamar with 60 rushing yards and a touchdown, 180 passing with a touchdown and interception or two. I'm going to say Gus the Bus with 70 rushing yards, 20 receiving, 50% shot at a touchdown, and inconsistent wide receiver play. Andrews, 55 yards off 4 catches. Raiders, Bryan Edwards, 80 yards. Jacobs, 65 yards. Maybe half of a chance of a touchdown that Drake could vulture. Drake, 35 yards. Not a great day for the Raiders. It'll be Baltimore. Baltimore's going to win this one pretty easily. That's all I got to say about that. We didn't even have time for Fantasy Football Court. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for going with me to buy my pizza pie. Hit the like and subscribe button on the way out the door. I'll be live. Look at my live stream schedule right here. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm live Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm live Friday, midnight Eastern. I'm live Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Basically, my Tuesday, Thursday shows are the early evening shows. My Friday, Saturday shows are the late night sons of bees. And then I'm live 1 hour before kickoff every Sunday on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at The Fantasy Football Show. I'm live literally the entire hour leading into kickoff. So that show is going to be lit. Do not miss my Instagram Sunday morning live streams. HeySmitty.com is where you can get your one-on-one text advice from me. Order that and get your trade advice, your lineup advice, all of it via text on demand. HeySmitty.com. And of course, as I told you earlier, make sure you go to Smitty1.com. Click on this underdog banner. Do not miss out on best ball. Best ball is ending. Your best ball drafts, you won't be able to draft best ball teams for the season. Once we kick off week 1, get over to underdog by going to Smitty1.com, clicking on this exact banner. $10 minimum. They give you $25 bonus cash. You get a phone call from me, and you get to not have your season go down the drain due to a stupid injury with your fantasy team. You'll have a best ball team sitting there on your phone, 2, 3, 4 best ball teams where you're drafting best player available, loading up your benches, and it sets the optimal lineup for you. No ad drops, no start bench advice. You just draft 4, 5, 6 best ball teams and enjoy. No matter what happens, an injury can't take your season out. Go over to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Smitty. If you venture there without the link, use promo code Smitty if you go there without the link. But otherwise, go to Smitty1.com, click on the banner, and play. I will see you all later. I might go live tonight to do some mock drafts if everybody's okay with that. Is everybody okay with that? Should I go live tonight and do some mock drafts? I think we probably should. We're running out of time. We could do a mock draft. I know a lot of you have already drafted, but we could try a couple mock drafts. I don't know that we'll do any Thursday because we're talking about kickoff. So maybe if you guys want to, get on over to my channel tonight and we'll do some mock drafting. Appreciate all you. Marquez, one call away. Javonte Williams, Josh Allen, and Dig Stack. Najee Harris, Gibson, Justin Jefferson, Ridley, Lamb, A.J. Dillon, Pollard, Madison. You guys know my drill. You know my drill by now. Kenneth Gainwell late. Let's get it. Let's kill 2021. This is going to be the best year any of us have ever had. Not to mention, if you aren't a part of my YouTube exclusive membership, go to my YouTube channel, click the blue join button, and join any one of the memberships. I offer 2 of them, and get on my live 2 video calls per Sunday. We go live on Discord video 2 times per Sunday at halftime of the morning games and at halftime of the Sunday night game. So we're live halftime of the Sunday night game, halftime of the morning games, talking about who's doing good, who to pick up. It's a video call. It's like a big Zoom call. You can turn your camera off. You can turn your mic off. You can just listen. You can chat the questions and have everything off and just listen. Or you can join in like a Zoom call and we just go over everything. You do it by going to my YouTube
main page, click the blue join button, join any one of those 2 memberships that I offer, and you'll be a part of the 2 video calls per Sunday, every single Sunday. It's the best. It's honestly the best feature I have, because we just get on there and talk about what's going on in halftime of the morning games and then halftime of the Sunday night game. It's the best thing you could do. Join it. I will see you all later. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We're growing so fast. We're going so big. We're at 10 point almost 5K on Instagram, and we were just at 10K. We've grown like 500 people on Instagram at the Fantasy Football Show. If you're not following me there, you're missing a ton of content that's awesome on Instagram. It's so different, and we do live streams all the time. I do my Friday quad box show with all my big Niner people, and then every Sunday morning I'm live on Instagram, the Fantasy Football Show. Later, guys.